as a Viper. I'm just very cautious about hyping up this Viper. Basically, all I'm saying.
So, are you cautiously optimistic or cautiously
cautious?
Pessimistic.
I'm cautiously cautious. Yeah.
All right, that's fair. I mean, that checks out. It will be interesting to see how it does. Although, it's profit mid. We've been seeing profit safe lane though more than anything, right?
They're putting it mid because of the Viper pick, right?
Yeah,
that makes a ton of sense. That makes actually like this is probably amazing for yellow Submarine because profit.
Ooh, they're not gonna have DK if they fight.
Yeah. Let's see.
Go on, sorry.
No, just profit is amazing.
Dust ready. I have the Hex there for a moment, and they should be able to get this kill. It's Ether Shock, and the damage done, and first blood for Heroic.
Yeah, they're gonna get 3 bounties though. Like the mid one and top 2 should be taken by DK. So that's
they denied one.
And the deny, nice. Okay, so 3
to 0, yeah.
By the way, I should have said that this Dragonite most likely will be on the safe lane, especially because of the Viper. It's a really easy switch up to make.
Right.
And this lane is much better for the Prophet mid than it is for the DK.
Well, let's see how it goes mid with Analog against Rabel. I don't know. I feel like I'm also cautiously cautious about this Viper pick. I don't want to get too hyped about it, but that's kind of the conversation we had yesterday, right? We don't want to get too hyped about certain picks with it being a newish patch until we've kind of seen it a little bit more. And it's interesting going Nether Toxin just to farm, right?
Yep, you can't really trade with him. That's the problem. Like, if you go Poison Attack and you try to trade with Prophet, he's just gonna send his Greater Tree on you and actually win the exchange. So it's better like this, basically, all I'm saying. By the way, we do have a Veno in the jungle.
Yeah, all right, so it's the Plague Carrier Veno jungle, which honestly leaves Tide alone, which I kind of like if he's able to not die.
Dude, I love it. Like, Tidehunter should actually be fine here. Enchantress, he should be fine until level 3 Enchantress at least. Like, King Jungle's KJ, he needs level 3 to be able to get the creep that actually threatens the Tide. On paper, but if he gets low, of course, anything's possible.
Also, yesterday, Amaterasu was playing off-lane for them, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But now he's in the 4, and this could be specifically for this Veno situation.
Wait, didn't they have the flyby?
Yeah, which was Amaterasu. Yeah, so he's now on his account, or renamed his account. I don't know. I don't know what was the deal with that. But now I know it's definitely not former Knights player and banned by Valve player Flyby.
Yep.
Now we know 100%. Even though we could see him on camera, there was that slight doubt.
You never know. I'm watching Supernatural, man. Shapeshifters, they're real, trust me.
Trust me, bro, I know. Look it up. Also, you do get access to neutrals at 5 minutes. So with Amaterasu going here and being in the jungle constantly, he'll get his neutral item. He'll be providing those mad stones for everybody.
Their safe lane might suffer because
double
of
blood grenade. Yeah. They're going to try and get Nessphere. They've got 3 heroes here. Schofield is level 2, so he does have Shackles as well as the Ether Shock, but he's so tanky. Another blood grenade, and eventually they do get this kill.
Honestly, kind of worth it. Like, not. I mean, it's not great that your carry dies, but this Veno is level 4. He's farming Ancients.
That's crazy. I need to start doing this in my pubs.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely. Do it. Do it. Your team is gonna love you.
I need to be doing this in a party stack where my offlaner understands, hey, play safe, don't die 5 times.
I'm telling you, this actually right now is working out for Yellow Submarine. All things considered, of course, Morphling is absolutely free farming, but it's not that bad for them at the moment. We'll see how it goes.
He's got a level 5 already, 4 minutes into the game. Like, this is mid-levels of experience.
This is basically how it should go on the position 5.
He's... he'll leave the lane and he should be able to help out, but he gets zoned out a little bit by the Centaur that'll be killed quickly. I want to say you just go in and he... Yeah, I would say just go in and you get kills.
If he managed to use the Gale, like, he could actually get a kill on someone, but they just don't have the control at the moment. I mean,
right now, back into the jungle, right?
Yep.
Surely.
We'll see what he
Get
goes
that
for. I'd
stack as
really
well.
like a Vessel on him.
Didn't get it. Yeah, early Vessel would be nice. For sure.
Can also just go, like, sometimes there's a build where they just go, just go full utility, like Greaves and stuff. Schofield.
Oh god, look at the damage on a Schofield. He is just dead. And yeah. Morales gets that kill, and Amaterasu's there to help out. He's almost level 6.
Yep. If he stayed in the jungle, he'd be level 6 right now. But he wanted to... Yeah.
He might even be level 7. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but god damn.
You're not exaggerating. He'd get 2 ancient stacks, right? And a couple of hard camps.
But now he's working on getting these mad stones, and it should be pretty quick for him.
You know what the problem is here that I'm seeing, actually? In a minute, the Wisdom Shrines are gonna appear. You're playing versus a Prophet and versus a level 6 Venomancer that's farming your Ancients. He's gonna go there. Like, both of them probably should connect.
If they don't go there, I would consider that a minor mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're pushing top for a reason. This should happen.
Yeah, scan is there, so they know that they're coming. Yeah, bot lane, they're going to look to get Ififal, and he's a tanky Tide. I mean, even just level 5 with, honestly, just 2 gauntlets, it's not exactly much, but he also has that buckler. And now Veno comes around the back, uses that ult. Whisper's in trouble. Dragon Tail's there, and that's a dead dot.
Oh,
They bring in Analog, but I'm not too certain about this. Rabel comes in, and Analog's already half health. Amaterasu does die. That's pretty important. But there's 3 heroes here that you really need to work on getting, and Amaryllis is dead. Schofield falls. Well, they're going to go towards this Wisdom Shrine, and there is no way for them to cut this off. So that'll be secured by the DK, who gets level 6 from that.
Maybe they can kill him, though. Morph and stun? Yep.
Yeah. Very ambitious to try and TP out, and doesn't want to use the Elder Dragon form there either.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have boots, that's why. Now I get it. I thought that he could maybe just use Dragon form, stun the Morphling, and try running, but without boots, like, he gets caught regardless. I still think that's definitely a win for Yellow Submarine. They took both of the Wisdom runes.
Well, they have access to their own. The other one's not taken yet.
It isn't?
But yeah, it's still up. It's floating on my screen. I don't know if they took it. But Amaterasu dies again, and this is, I think, Heroics identifying the problem, right? You cannot let this Veno be free in this jungle. And I really like Yuma coming off of the safe lane early to make that play, to go to top, to defend that gank that was going on, and to get this second kill on Amaterasu. Yep.
To me, honestly, it looked like a very risky play, because suddenly you're not taking the enemy Wisdom rune, you're fighting your own in a losing battle, plus your offlaner is buying back. It looked pretty bad, but I feel like they did, in the end, they kind of outplayed them. and it comes down to that. Like they're like you said very nicely. This Venomancer hero always suffered from cores that can jump on him.
Yeah.
And without blinks, right? And you have Morphling, you have Dawnbreaker to do that, so...
Honestly, I know, just the smoke, I got confused by something. Truthfully, I'll be honest. But Amaterasu, he's going for this Vessel, and now he's trying to play aggressive with the level advantage that he had, and he's going to get KJ. I'm a little cautiously optimistic about where he's at in the game right now. I almost would like to see him farm the jungle more consistently just for like the next 2 minutes and get the Spirit Vessel. The bottom lane, they'll go for the Tide. Easy kill there.
If you were playing a pub, that would probably be the right decision. But in this game, he needs to start applying the pressure, and I think he's doing the right thing. Also, keep in mind that he's still farming the enemy jungle while doing this.
Yeah. The only reason I say that, and they will go for Schofield, but will they get the kill? They're backing off of him already. The damage being dealt won't be enough, as they might lose this bounty hunter for this aggression, and the right clicks come in. They'll kill the... Oh, come on. Unnecessary killing the Kobold, but Analog will get that kill on Amaryllis. The reason I say that is, like, you don't have that level advantage anymore. You were 2 to 3 levels ahead. Now you're not. So I'm wondering if, like, is that time that you were ahead gone, and you might as well just back up and get that Vessel, which is a good early game item that might help you obtain more. Does that make sense?
Okay, it kind of does. The level
it's just a thought. Like,
No, you're right. The level advantage might not be massive, but look at the net worth.
Yeah,
like
it's huge. Oh, it's huge.
Yeah. This
for at least him.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
Nah, it's fine. You cut me off anytime, baby. He's got as much farm as the Dragon Knight, almost.
Yeah.
So. Which is maybe a bad thing as well, by the way.
There's give and takes. There's give and takes. This tier 1 is going to drop, and that'll open up the map a little bit more, making it potentially more dangerous for Amaterasu to farm the jungle a little bit more consistently, but he's almost at this Vessel. I'd like to see him focus getting it.
He's also really good against Shadow Shaman's wards, by the way. Rust's wards die very quickly. And we're focusing on one toxic guy. On the other side, there's another toxic flying snack. That's maybe a bit sad that we haven't talked about him. Analog is going for travels into Aghanim's. I love the travels build up on Viper in general. I always did. It just makes the hero actually playable, in my opinion.
Right.
But interesting to go for Ags. Let's see how much he's gonna do with Nosedive.
Yeah, Nosedive now releases Nether Toxin on use or upon landing, so it got that little bit of extra oomph, you know.
Yeah, plus you're playing versus a Prophet, right? So you'll be able to get out of problems.
Yeah, it's not like the longest dive in the world, but definitely helps. And he's got that Quelling Blade already, making sure that he can chop out of those trees. Ravage committed. They got the break. They go to the Dawnbreaker, coming in with the Solar Guardian. Yuma's going to be okay. Schofield, though, already dead. Rabel came from behind and got that kill. Analog's going to die here, and now that ult's going to spread from the Venomancer. Yuma trying to TP out if Fel ends up going down, but KJ dies too, and this is going to be a full team wipe for the side of Yellow Submarine. Well done.
Ooh, the tale as old as time. You go on a Ravage boy, the Watermelon Ravage, you go on a Tide under a tier 1 tower, and you're gonna get punished 9 times out of 10. They just don't have the control to kill him before his Kraken Shell procs, and he manages to ravage all 4 of them here.
Yeah,
this was rough. Look
and
at the
great
Veno
move
go
from
behind.
Veno and Rabel. Great positioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
that
good
was
positioning.
Yeah, that was really well read play by the two of them, being in the right position. So it was only one TP necessary or two, and the rest of them just moved from behind. Of course, Prophet can always be there as well.
Rare to see people give out high fives and fist bumps like in the middle of the game. I love to see that.
Yeah, we should normalize high-fiving during the games.
Yeah, you know, you just team wiped them. It's not like you're gonna die.
Yeah, pause to make a little dance, you know, like like in football after you score. Every team should have their own. Like boy bands, you know, like 5 of you need to have a choreography set up. Like you get up, you do some NSYNC stuff, you go back to play.
Oh gosh. You gotta do some buys.
yeah.
Does he stand up? That's fair.
A team stands up and flosses, you know.
Oh man, that's the younger teams. They're more into the floss and everything like that. Yeah, they'll play some Fortnite in the pause. Morales just committed. They knew he was there, but 4 heroes are immediately down here from the side of Yellow Submarine. Schofield on the run, but that shuriken will connect. They've got the gush slowing him down. And eventually, Schofield, he's going to die. And that'll be Rabel, who steals that kill with the Wrath of Nature.
That's going to be the Tormentor as well. Easy pickings.
Shard for Amaterasu? No, Amaryllis. Not that Amaterasu would have been available to get it, because the other lowest was tied.
Both of these shards are pretty garbo. Whisper, in my opinion.
Whisper TP attempt, but Morales is right there. Ambitious attempt to try and go for that. Didn't have the mana to Solar Guardian back home or something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna lay down. Like, this game right now is in a place in which Heroic, they need to go late. Like, they're 8k behind versus a Bounty Hunter. You're not winning any exchanges any longer. You need to split push the map somehow, which isn't easy versus Bounty and Prophet.
Right.
But you need to find a place and space for this Morphling to actually carry you. Your team fight is weaker. Your split push arguably is weaker as well. It's not easy.
Definitely not easy. And Solar Crest for Amaryllis. You've got the Spirit Vessel and an extra Pavis from the Veno. We'll see if he upgrades that into a Solar Crest if they are going to go for 2 of them. But man, yeah, you're right. Heroic down 10,000 net worth this early on is pretty brutal. And it starts with the fact that Veno obtained so much from the jungle early on.
I feel like it's a bit about the Veno, but also this combo. It's definitely a lot about the Veno. 70-30 Veno Bounty Hunter. Like these two.
Yeah.
And the Prophet as well. Just
this would be a pretty significant kill to get, and they will have that nosedive. They will get the kill. Whisper getting a good amount of gold there on the kill on Amaterasu.
They used everything.
Yeah, they need to get in there. I mean, nosedive, not the longest cooldown spell, so you can kind of gap close a little bit, or like you said, if you want to kind of get away with it, you can do the same. And it's bots ags, and not only that, but not a lot of mana. You could also farm with it. And
never mind.
Nesphere nearby, but not doing anything.
I was thinking maybe Prophet connects, but the two of them killing him with nosedive and tier 1 tower being nearby it's kind of dangerous. So we're gonna smoke maybe instead. They didn't have to smoke. They do have Friendly Shadow. When I said both of these shards are kind of garbage, Friendly Shadow is good. Venomancer shard as well isn't that terrible, I think, but I just don't like it too much.
I mean, we were hyping up the Venomancer shard, the Venomous Gale.
Yeah.
Dispel, if Gale is dispelled, 300 extra damage. DK, what's he got so far? Mask of Madness, Armlet, and then Mjolnir in full here for the Nature's Prophet. He's buying out on his shard as well, or at least
KJ
has it queued up. AJ sees the Veno, and again, nosedive in. Nether Toxin's down, and there's the Ravage. This could be a turnaround if they can get the Nature's Prophet and the rest of these heroes in. They could be in trouble. Rabel goes into the trees, and they're going to find themselves Analog. That's at least one big kill. Schofield blocked off from the rest of his team, trying to get a kill to Amaterasu. Solar Guardian's not going to be enough to keep him alive, but they will get the kill to Rabel, and now they'll look over at Ifafel. That's 2 dead on the side of Yellow Submarine. Eventually, they will lose this Dawn, but how much can Morphling do? I say eventually they'll lose the Dawn. Whisper doesn't die. They don't commit completely for him. Amaterasu's dead. Nesphere gone, and now it's going to be a full team wipe for the side of Heroic.
Damn. Any high fives? Any high vibes?
That turned around so heavily. It looked like that was a bad fight for Heroic. But KJ's doing so much damage with this Enchantress from the high ground, never being touched. And it felt as though they got away with one here for Heroic with Whisper on the edge, too. But, man, they kept it going.
It looked like a bad engagement to me. Like, you're baiting with your position 4 that's kind of not even a position 4. This is basically your offlane Venomancer. The Ravage is good, but there's no follow-up. And your Venomancer...
It's not quick enough.
Yeah. Look at the Veno. The whole fight, he's doing absolutely nothing. He's just standing on the sidelines. He didn't even use the Plague Wards on his teammates, which is something that maybe he could have done. But with that, without that, it doesn't really matter. The problem is he's very squishy, so I don't know. I really didn't like the way they set this fight up with the bait on their more or less offlane Venomancer. Not offlane in a sense that he played offlane, but in a sense that he has as much or more farm than the Tide.
And all of a sudden, that 10,000 net worth lead that we were talking about was very dangerous for Heroic. It's gone. It's completely gone. Yep. Go back up as they get the Sages, but
much easier game now for Heroic. Like I think that fight, if it's played a bit better by Yellow Submarine, it seals the deal, and your 8k advantage goes into 12 or 14k with all the track kills. But they just moved the game back completely. They have a BKB pipe on Dawn. They have a blink on Shadow Shaman now. Like a lot of big items are suddenly there, and Morphling with the Butterfly as well in about 800 gold, 700.
Shadow Shaman going Blink Force Staff. You mean to tell me the Xingqiu build of straight Ags isn't the way to do this?
Yeah, Blink Force. You're playing into a Prophet, right? Like it's kind of good. He's also keeping Iron Talon and the Quelling Blade, so definitely hates the trees.
You got to, just to survive. Got to do what you got to do. And they got the Sages on Rabel. His positioning initially looked really good. One of the biggest things in that last fight that they ended up losing was the fact that KJ uncontested just gets to output so much impetus damage. He was out of mana by the time that fight ends, simply by throwing that many impetus shots.
You know what's also kind of the case here as well? He can tank a lot. That's a difference maker too. So Venomancer, not only did he not do anything like for the last 50% of that fight, the first half of the fight he used everything on the Ench, and she just heals through it, so it's kind of wasted. Ench is really good hero into Venomancer overall because of that.
Mm-hmm. They don't really have anything for this Enchantress either, right? That'll really take care of it too easily.
Eventually you can hit through the untouchable, like Prophet has insane BAT.
Mm-hmm. But if Prophet's just focusing the Enchantress, that might be dangerous.
Of course. This is a good smoke from both sides.
Wink. Oh. Available now, but BKB is going to be popped. Analog's going to go in. They'll go to the Solar Guardian. It's going to be on the Venomancer. Whisper trying to get the damage out. Analog needs to get on the high ground away from this DK while the BKB runs out on Nesphere. Itafel still has Ravage available, and Nesfear is going to go, but Yuma turns into the Dragon Knight, and he'll throw a stun onto Nesfear, and they've got the vision. They'll get the continued damage and kill him off. This Ravage is now wasted. He'll try to TP out. He's successful in doing so, but all they get out of that is Schofield, and that is not the play Yellow Submarine were looking for.
Can I give you a small detail, like how crazy Dota is and why this fight was won?
Is it?
What?
Can I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
Was it because of the blink being taken out on the tide? Oh,
yep.
Actually? All right, explain it to me. Go.
By what? Well, no, you do it. What broke
by
the
dust.
blink? By dust, yep. Yep, dust broke the blink on Tide. He couldn't go in for Viper BKB. Like that's one of those things. It's so huge, but top.
Yeah, Schofield, he's got some help, but is it going to be enough? It'll be at least enough to get the bounty. But now Analog's in trouble. He's going to try and fight back. The right clicks the Nether Toxin. Here comes this Dawn, and they get the Aegis. But they lost 2 for this. They need to secure this kill. DK's also coming over. Hurricane Pike, I don't know if it's going to matter. Wrath of Nature flying through. Won't be enough damage, and it ends up being a 2 for 2 so far. Nesfear able to get some distance, and Amaterasu is on the high ground, throws the Spirit Vessel on a KJ, but that won't do enough either.
I just think... Continue, please.
No, I was going to say that little dust interaction it made me smile to, like, you know, when you understand it immediately, you're like, oh my God, like, that's huge. Like, you see cool things like that, and you're just like, wow, the difference is dust right now.
Nesfear.
BKB forced out.
I feel like Yellow Submarine, they're just doing all the wrong moves right now.
They're panicking a little bit.
Yep.
But, you know, seeing that it was dust, actually, I was a little proud that I knew that. Smarter than the average Herald, you know, guys. Just saying. But, it's fun. It's the little interactions like that that are so beautiful in Dota, too.
And those little interactions piss me off, honestly, more than
when you're playing
else.
against them.
When you're playing, when that thing happens to you, trust me, it doesn't make you smile. Imagine being that Tide, you're in a perfect position, you hit behind the trees, you want to press that blink and it's disabled by a dust.
Ugh.
That wasn't even meant for you, you know, like, just be better, right? Like, don't get dusted, lol.
Oh, I took 25 damage from dust. I can't blink. Now, you were talking about how it felt as though Heroic needed to slow down and split push the map. They end up taking a couple of good fights that leads them back into making this even. And you look at the net worth now. Do Yellow Submarine, I mean, do they even have the ability to do what you said maybe Heroic should do and maybe anchor back? And
yep, I do believe they do. Like they can split the map a bit easier. Map is huge in any case, and you can do it. The only question is, like, do you benefit from doing that? Like, let's say this game goes very late. Like, this Tricore on Heroic looks pretty damn scary. And on top of all of that, you've got Enchantress that will scale. Whisper going for a Nullifier, by the way, next as well.
See if he ends up getting it, because he's swapping through some items in the moment. Just swap to AC.
Just a casual Sacred Relic.
Is this Kurt? Yeah, is this
it's on the
coming with it? Yeah, okay. I was going to say, it wasn't showing me what's on it, but now they get KJ, and this is huge. He's a lot of their damage, but it doesn't look like they're going to fight anymore. They'll just get the Enchantress. So it doesn't end up being as big of a kill as maybe they would have thought, but it does stop Heroic
I think
from
these kind
maybe
of kills,
responding.
I think these kind of kills are probably the best that they can get. Get a kill with track, back out. Get a kill or two with track, back out. Because they do have a lot of decent burst. But the prolonged fights on their side are a bit sketchy versus Viper and the Morphling. It's about to finish Skadi, by the way. This could be a good catch on top, though.
If Schofield tanks this, they'd be happy. But Yuma Yeah, he backs away. Immediately, they're able to double hex the Tide, but he put that dead in the water onto this Shadow Shaman, and they get the kill. Another track kill for them there.
That's such a good positioning by the Shadow Shaman. Schofield, yeah. Saving
Definitely
the day
understanding. Yeah. Understanding that they were coming through and morphling. I mean, it's a good idea there from Yuma, too, right? Like, he was going to join Schofield, and then you could tell the word came out, hey, we shouldn't do this. BKB, ooh, okay. They try to maybe turn this on the Tide with the initial Viper Strike, but there's no way in, and BKB is down here for the Dawn, which stops them from maybe wanting to Solar Guardian in and fight for the next minute or so.
Yeah, they use the Boots of Bearing as well on Edge to get away a bit quicker. Not really a big deal. Small cooldown, but...
I like this from Yellow Submarine. They're imposing their will. And they are going to find KJ again.
Yeah. These kind of plays from them are, I would say, perfect. The small little pickoffs here and there. It's like, who did they kill in the last 5 minutes? They killed the Shadow Shaman and Enchantress, right? Like, these aren't great kills, but with track, they do kind of matter. So, it's not that bad. Good recovery.
Not only that,
basically.
every time they get one of those kills, like, yeah, the track's nice, but it stops Heroic from wanting to play. And they're going to get Amaterasu. They catch him away from everybody else.
That's probably not where you want to be. Especially now as Rosh has respawned, right? Like 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough one. You see Rosh crossing. And you'll know it's up, and maybe they can try and make a move for it.
Yeah, it's not an easy Rosh fight for both sides. On one side there's Ravage, but no Dragon form. But still, Ravage is dangerous. At the same time, Morphling one of the best heroes to go into the pit together with Anch.
They are tracking, so...
They will contest this most likely.
Yeah. Ravage available with Blink, but KJ gonna look for the positioning to stop him from coming through. KJ gonna dust, but Blink comes in and they go to the Ravage. There's the Solar Guardian now. Gonna pop the BKB. Whisper comes through. They'll dust again. They get the kill to KJ. They take out the Enchantress. The Aegis is going to be picked up here by Yuma. Actually killed off by the Dire. So it's a snatch of the Aegis. They'll leave Whisper, but he TPs out successfully. And the rest of the team, besides KJ, are able to escape the pit with the Aegis. Yeah,
he took the Aegis and the banner, but it was actually Nesphir who got it with Breathe Fire. well timed. It was a good fight from Yellow Submarine. Like, it's really difficult. This Rosh positioning is basically back to almost where Rosh was in the good old days of Dota 1, almost.
Right.
And it's hard to fight. Like there's high ground for both sides there. If you're the team taking Rosh.
Serpent Wards committed. Schofield though, Spear Vessel on him, and he'll try to survive. Oh, gets away! Just enough from the foul play, and Amaterasu's dead, and now Morales has to run, and the dust connects, so 4 staff away. Yuma trying to keep up. He's got waveform in a second to close the gap. Schofield eventually did to Rabel. And there's the Nullifier too.
Yeah,
and
he's fine.
They do not see him, so they won't be able to get the bounty.
The dust.
Oh, Wrath of Nature killing.
Oh, they actually might get him at the end.
Okay. They still got him. They dusted again, and they got him.
He was a bit too greedy, went down. They also put the sentry and the knobs next to the Lotus Pool area.
Right. Wasn't really expecting them to get that kill, but when you get greedy and go back, you usually end up paying for it.
Yeah, they need to
take the tier 2 tower by himself.
I feel like they just need to go back to what worked for them, you know? Just go back to that recipe. Use a lot of friendly shadows, move across the map, get some pickoffs. It's not that easy anymore because Morphling has a gem, and I feel like it's on Heroic now to just stick together. They're like 5k behind, but they truly don't need to wait for any bigger items anymore. They've got it all.
3,000 gold saved for the Morphling. Whisper going into the Harpoon now. Has the Pipe. Has that Nullifier. Blink. Hex.
Ooh.
Tide shackled, nullified, and trying to run. Kraken Shell or not, they will smash this watermelon like Gallagher.
Yeah, that's a that's a big kill. 1 minute without the Tide. This should open up mid lane, maybe a tier 2 for them.
They might get Amaterasu too, because they've got the smoke just running out, and Analog comes over to try and put the damage on.
Oh, he gets out.
Oh, the TP. Too quick.
He started it a little bit too fast on Analog, maybe. Because Zuma was TPing in. He could have been the one that stops the TP.
Yeah, but the smoke was running out.
Yep.
I think maybe he felt pressured to make the move, and who knows? If you don't show, maybe you do get that kill, and Morphling comes over and stops that TP.
It was
What is
close in
Analog
any
going for
case. Yep.
next? It's got 2k gold, nothing queued up. 35-minute Shrine. They'll try to control the area. If they could stay smoked, they might be able to catch Rabel coming in with a TP.
Oh. They got the Booty Hunter
Fine
instead.
Bounty Hunter, yep. Shackles completely. That's another kill now for Whisper. He continues to enjoy his time. He's got that level 20 talent of the -1 luminosity attacks required.
Yeah. Rabel stole their Wisdom Shrine, by the way. He's level 25 now. Yep. Enchantress did the same, though, on the other side.
They'll find Amaterasu now. Oh, gosh.
I really think that Yellow Submarine could be doing what is being done to them.
Yeah.
But they're just farming. Splitting the map, not in a way in which they're actually getting anything done, but in a way in which they're just getting picked off as they're farming the jungle. Like the same spot that I died in, now Veno dies in, and they're dying way too close to their base, which leads Yuma straight onto the high ground.
Kind of concerned here. Maybe not. Well, yeah, know what? I'm really concerned here. That Rabel took the
I know.
3 times Trine HP and damage.
Yep.
Up against
Into
this Enchantress.
Yeah. Look, the Greater Treant has a rapier. he's attacking for 300 damage. Look at him go! 3 hits.
Yeah, this is stupid. I don't understand it. Why would you give this up? I mean, now they killed KJ, certainly.
Go for the throne.
Oh, no. If he survives, now the Ravage, but the BKB was already out from Analog. The damage on the Yuma is just not going to be enough at the moment. You back away. He is tracked up. The BKB is going to run out on Analog. Nesfear is going to pop his own. And they just can't continue to get the damage out there and get these kills. And the Harpoon pulls in the Bounty Hunter. The wave from forward. Whisper's going to be able to get that kill with the BKB being bobbed by Yuma. The look over at the DK. There's the Solar Guardian to drop down on Nesfear and get that kill into the DK. And all of a sudden, Heroic are breaking the high ground and using these treants that are being spawned by Rabel.
He made the new one. He made the new one. Why? You made the new one.
Understand the mistakes. It's just hitting the tower while they kill the Venomancer.
Okay, it's on cooldown for 1 more second. Let's see. Let's see. Rabel. Another one, maybe? No? Yes?
Another
one.
Well, they've got heroes just killing the towers too, but just more and more treants. I don't understand it. They're going to go for Whisper. They've got the Vessel on him again, but the Viper Strike was used onto the Tide Hunter. The damage from the Sproink. Yuma gets the kill on Aphafal. And these heroes just don't have the buyback necessary to defend. And look at this Treant taking the throne while everybody else fights. This will be game 1 going the way of Heroic.
Yeah. GG. And the Terrorblade just farming away. And eventually Terrorblade, he suffers from one thing alone. That's not having not being able to save himself before Sunder, right? But as he's playing with the Dazzle, that shouldn't be a problem. So I can really see this draft working. Plus you have so much minus armor to work with. Tag team, of course, taken by Tusk. Tag team plus Reaver plus Dazzle plus Terrorblade. It's honestly kind of nasty. Yellow Submarine is just a nasty drafting team. They draft these kind of things that are annoying to play against.
They just now need to make it work, and that's the biggest difference.
30 seconds to battle.
Because last draft felt nice, in my opinion, but didn't go the way that we thought it would. You could see that Dragonite going with the Frost Dragon for this one. DK has slow and healing reduction effects on his attacks. That gets stronger in the Elder Dragon form. It was 3 bounty runes for Yellow Submarine in the last game. They denied the other one. So it's 3-0 last time, but this time 2 for 2. And no first blood given up before the action really starts.
Kind of a cool attempt with this smoke, but the 3 of them... You know what I wouldn't mind? I wouldn't mind seeing KJ stay here together with Schofield. Yeah, that's what they're doing. If you can kill the Dazzle level 1, it sets you up a little bit better for the laning stage.
They have the Sobs. They know exactly where he's at. Amaterasu is going to step up to Yuma and turns around quickly enough. But Morales, Dragon Tail through the shards. And they will try to get this kill. Throwing some Fire Spirits. It's going to be kind of tough fought, and I don't really think they have the damage here without the DK, who's going to focus on the lane.
Yeah, they're trialing though, which is, you know, all of these things happening here at the same time. That means that Mars isn't really getting anything on the other side, so he was also suffering because of the top move. Nice moves by Amaterasu, recognizing that he needed to move back immediately after he saw the Dragonite gank attempt.
Yeah, just didn't line out the way it should. Like 1 second away from being the right play. Yeah. But now you've got with the Mars, and there are combos that you can kind of put together with the dead shot into, say, a spear. So you do have to be careful about that when you get those levels. Mid, though, is really where the interest should be, as you've got this Tinker that has been strictly a support in this event up to this point. But as I say that, they get Muerta, and Schofield ends up dying. And he actually came down in that lane half health because of a Shadow Wave right before he TP'd and some creep damage from Amaterasu.
Yeah, they used a lot of their resources on top lane on that first attempt. And they got punished for it. Of course, the first Metamorphosis is always dangerous. The Swarm up now on If I Fall, and honestly, I just want to see how much experience he's going to be getting from this top lane.
Yuma. He is not in as much trouble as I thought, as he's starting to soak a lot of this damage, but the Shadow Wave, KJ gets low, Icarus Dive needs to run. Amaterasu is fighting Yuma, but they do get the kill there onto Morales, and now KJ, he'll salve up and try to get as much health out of this as he can.
I think they overdid it. The power spike on this lane is definitely level 3. They tried a little bit earlier and got punished for it. So, a bit unfortunate.
Lotus for free for Morales, which means if they go for this again, they'll have that extra little bit of oomph to maybe survive long enough to get a kill that time around. Again, it's an early lead, though, for the side of Yellow Submarine. Sorry, I was getting distracted by the net worth advantage bar. I think is thinner than it used to be, and that's that kind of that's the kind of brain I have that took me out for a second.
Yeah, that's fine. Especially in Dota, when you're used to a certain thing and then it changes, it just messes you up completely. even if it's a small change. I get it. Most
It is.
Dota players have some sort of OCD, don't worry.
Oh, thank God I'm not alone. I'm at Rossi, though. They're kind of dominating this lane. The biggest one is the fact that TB is 24-6 to the 16-3 of this Mars.
It all kind of started off of that first blood attempt that failed. Your Mars doesn't get a good lane, your top lane isn't that great as well because of it, so we'll see. They did recover very nicely in the last game, so it can happen again.
Yeah. Again, it's the experience difference that I think can be pretty massive in moments like this. The one thing I will say is Tinker is pressuring this Pango pretty heavily, and I worry about what Analog's getting out of this lane because it's not much at the moment.
It's not great, yeah. Like, you'd like to stop the Tinker getting his level 6 for as long as possible, maybe even some ganks, but this isn't that great for Analog. At the same time, the matchup isn't that bad. Later on during the game, you get that built-in BKB from the Rolling Thunder, so you can chase down the Tinker, set things up for him, on him, that is.
Top lane. All Amaterasu at the moment. They try to throw these fire spirits out there. Nua's getting some farm out of this. It's not like he's being stymied at all, but they won't be able to go for these kills unless they catch maybe pressure being pushed too far by Yellow Submarine.
Yep. Phoenix is a really good defensive hero with the Dragonite. You don't really have a lot of offensive power, but like you said, if they dive under the tower, maybe there's some potential. Let's see, they're going for the runes on minute 6, making sure that Analog gets it, if it's on top lane at least.
Picked up a haste.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Can they make anything of this, though? They might be able to get it fall again with like a dead shot spear situation, but it's got to be perfect. Otherwise, he just Shikuchi's away.
He's pretty big as well. Raindrops.
The calling.
Yeah.
And yeah, not much doing there. And they're actually going to push towards Whisper. They do land that spear TP from the Pangolier. And that spear is pretty far forward. Thinking about the Rolling Thunder, stopped it for a moment, and that might give TB some time to get away. But the dead shot lands. It's not the fear, it's the little bit of damage, and they get him right by the pit to bounce off of. A great move there by Analog to come at level 6 and get that kill on the TB and slow him down.
Absolutely, like he needed this. He's got 24 CS. Even with that kill, he's the lowest net worth core in the game.
KJ dead with Rabel coming towards top. A lot of damage being done by this Dazzle, and yeah,
He
we
tried
talked
to go
about
for the
how you kind of.
shrine. Yeah, I wasn't sure what he was doing.
Oh, Morales gets that shrine. The other one picked up by Schofield. Talked about this Dazzle. You've let it through, and now you kind of have to deal with the consequences of that.
Now the hero is banned very often, right? So interesting.
Snowball all the way through. Calling, though. And Whisper trying to survive, has the spear through the God's Rebuke out, but Schofield's the one being killed off. He's not able to get away. That tag team really helping to slow him down and make sure that they get that kill. And there's a stack to take. AJ, he sits low. He almost dies. Rabel, though, being chased by Analog, who's in these robots, these machines, and the March is killing him. Level 4 March of the Machines ain't no joke.
Yeah, he looked like he literally looked like he forgot how to play against that. You know, he was trying to juke left and right against the March. Almost got picked off by it. Rabel definitely having a good time, and so is Terrorblade. Even with that, like he is top net worth, followed by the Tinker, of course. So once again, the laning stage from Yellow Submarine, pretty damn good. And if I'm looking at this game, if it's played out evenly without one team absolutely outmaneuvering the other, I kind of like what Yellow Submarine have got going into the late game.
They do overwhelm the map.
It's a level 6 Weaver, by the way, already. With the Swarm, the Hive Mind Facet.
The Swarm are level 3, and he will come through the Twin Gate. Blink Dagger for this Tinker. Doing Rod of Atos next. But if all looking for something, and they've got 3 heroes up here, it's very reliant on Yuma kind of making some space for himself and getting some farm. But KJ needs levels. He needs to hit this level 6. And that's going to be a big problem because he's only level 4. They've already taken the Shrine, so the experience was there. But he's just not finding anything out of the lanes. He can't sit top. There's 3 heroes here to make sure that he dies if he shows.
Yeah, no one can. I think at this point, Yellow Submarine can... They're in a good spot to just take over the map completely. And you can see that with TB moving top with Meta. Keep in mind the Tinker can always join as well. He's got the Blink Dagger completed. So he is very capable of just using his Keen Conveyance and going almost anywhere. It's not as fast, of course, just yet. It's only level 1, but...
He'll use it to go back. March of the Machines protecting that tier 1 tower over bottom. And again, it's a little bit slow here from Heroic, which is the way that kind of paced for them in the first game. But can they make some sort of comeback play and sort of stop the bleeding of what's happening on the map?
Right now, I feel like only if it's presented to them is it possible. So basically, by mistakes, it can happen, but without the mistakes, it's difficult.
That's not all actually connected, and the Dazzle
he's
able to
dead.
use that ult up onto the high ground, and they're able to get that kill into KJ. So using that Natho projection, which I think the tether distance might be a little bit too long.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's my
Dire's middle
Your
Thought.
take, yeah. I mean,
there are other things that might be wrong, but it is a long distance to just be able to cover without really putting yourself into danger.
mid lane, Whisper.
And he's got some help coming in. They go to the arena. Sunray, Spear, Snowball. That pulls in the TB for a moment. Whisper needs to back away. He's not got a lot of health left. Yuma trying to come over and do anything, but he doesn't have Elder Dragon form. They'll go to the Rolling Thunder. This hits the Weaver as well as the Tusk. They get the kill there on Amaryllis. But now, the fall, bounced up, time-lapsing. The March of the Machines doing enough damage and enough of a deterrent to stop them from committing onto the Weaver, who's now back up to full health after popping that wand.
Not having the egg is really hurting them. KJ,
Yes. 12 minutes in.
he needs to just hit some creeps. As simple as that. Maybe these Ancients, they need to be taken by him and Yuma. He's gonna probably steal some experience here. They needed it. Like, if they had the egg this fight, it could have went their way. Without the egg, it's almost impossible.
It's certainly tough. Dazzle. The build treads eggs.
Pretty much, yep. Almost every game. It is the same thing. And then you can literally do whatever afterwards.
Is Dazzle as effective in the support role with this Napo projection, or is it just that you want him as an offlaner?
Like, you can play him as support, but he really shines as a core. You get taxed way earlier. Just you dominate the lane as well harder. It's a better core hero at the moment.
Okay. Have to see if they can sustain this. I mean, Heroic, they're down 3,000. It's not that much, but it feels so oppressive to them with the way the game's going and how much of the map it feels like Yellow Submarine are taking up.
Absolutely. They do have some good team fights, right? Like when they get the arena, when they get the egg. My problem is, like, you're playing eventually into a grave from Dazzle. He doesn't have it yet. And also into time lapse. So you kind of have to use all your spells very correctly. Sunder, like every single hero has some sort of a save on Yellow Submarine side. Snowball, Grave, Time-Lapse, Blink from Tinker and Defense Matrix, and Sunder. Like, every single hero needs to be controlled to be killed.
Yeah. And your options are not heavily limited, I would say. You do have Arena, Spear, Rolling Thunder, Dragon Tail, Deadshot. There are options.
The calling, right? Like, very important
Yes.
too.
And this is perfect positioning from Schofield to drop said calling in a really good area. But they go Napo projection, and the fact is that Dazzle comes in with a poison touch, and this Supernova is committed, and it does land, but is it going to be enough? The Napo projection just lasts so long. They're able to do some good damage, but it's not enough just yet. Pierce the Veil, right-clicks in from the reflection, and they do end up getting the Tusk and not losing anything. But it's such a tough fight.
It was a tough fight, and at the same time, the most incredible positioning that they could have imagined. Like, the best case scenario, in my opinion. And still, one single Dazzle dealt as much damage as their whole team, almost. 4K. It's, plus, they weren't all in position. So, on the side of Yellow Submarine, that is... I don't know. Like, it's hard to imagine a better fight for Heroic. But they do get the kill, so...
We'll also say the cooldown on Napo projection is a bit low. 70 seconds feels like nothing. And at level 3 being at 50 seconds, that really is nothing.
Yeah, maybe I'd reduce the cooldown reduction. I wouldn't reduce...
And the duration.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't reduce a lot of things. I don't think it is broken right now, but it can be so bad. Like, if you nerf it, I feel like it's one of those spells that if you nerf it just a little bit, it might be just terrible. You are stunned, by the way. Keep that in mind when you use the projection. You are just sitting there. You can retrieve it, but you are a sitting duck if they can get on top of you.
Yeah. That being said, it is a bit tough, especially because the tether range on it is so long that you really can be in such good positions and not really feel like you're in much danger. The cast range allows you to sit in a couple of trees and cast it outside those trees and really be a problem.
Yeah, which makes me think that it's a spell and a hero that needs to be given some time for people to adjust to it as well. It's not only like some things are very broken at first, and then after a week, people figure out different ways of dealing with it. Picking different heroes, maybe some Storms, Embers, you know, these kind of guys that can get on top of him easily as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I would say they're waiting for this courier to potentially pick up this point booster. But unfortunately for them, Amaterasu went to the other secret shop and already bought it, so that courier's not going to be picking up anything anytime soon. And they're leaving it alive in the thought that it will.
Yeah, they try to be cheeky. What's gonna happen? What did KJ just dig up, by the way? There's like a certain creep running through his mid lane. Never mind, hold that thought. Did they kill Schofield here?
He pierces the Veil pretty early on. And Deadshot starts to run. As they've got the Blink, the Snowball, the Control, and Schofield gonna try and run away, but the Walrus Punch gets the kill on a Schofield. They finally do take out Amaterasu's courier.
Whisper, mid lane.
Let's see if he can get away. Fall and Amaterasu are here, but Whisper just walks it off.
Now keep in mind that they have so much control now on Yellow Submarine. Well, not control, catch, let's put it that way. Because their draft lacks it, but now they got Atos on Weaver and Atos on Tinker.
KJ fortunate enough that Amaterasu did not have Poison Touch available and actually goes into the Roche Pit to TP out. Good move there to avoid that. And they've done a good job, I would say. Heroic has kept it at 2,000 to 3,000. Arena, Spear missing, But they've got Radabatos, they have the Dragon Tail, the calling to make sure that he can't snowball, but he walks out of the calling, snowballs back, and ends up dead to the God's Rebuke.
Maybe could have just kept on running with the Matrix, but yeah, like you said, I absolutely agree. They are getting some space on the map to get the levels, if nothing else, on Heroic, to get some farm. Mjolnir is up on DK. He's going for BKB next.
TP towards mid from Tusk, as well as this Tinker.
This could be Rush. They need to take the bugs,
I want them to... I would like them to be able to do more objectively. You know, with this advantage that they had and with the early presence that I felt they had, the fact that they only have 6 kills and a 1,000 net worth lead, it seems a little underwhelming.
I kind of agree. They are. I do feel that they could have done more, maybe after taking all the tier 1 towers. It took some time for them to get the Atos. I think Atos says on the Tinker and on the Weaver. I feel like they were lacking catch, so they couldn't really force things. That's one problem they've got. They've got the Tinker and they've got the Terrorblade. Both heroes are literally just farming. And Dazzle doesn't really make a lot of moves as well. So even though their draft looks pretty damn cool when they team fight, they can't force the team fights, basically.
Right. And they'll start to move forward in the top lane, and still looking at spots. This one in the river is interesting. One that probably doesn't get taken away. Although, I say that, and immediately it dies. So I have found my ability to Caster's Curse Obswords now. That was literally 0.5 seconds from when I said it.
Power overwhelming.
Ooh. What are some other ones? I can see everything.
Black Sheep Wall.
Yeah. Tier 2 top, not defended.
And there is no spoon as well.
Then I just build Protoss cannons and carriers. Boring gameplay from me.
I just started doing campaign again a week or two ago. Finishing Brood War right now.
Ooh. KJ in trouble. And will be doing the Rod of Atos as well as the Snowball Walrus Punch combo. Icarus dive, but not enough distance away to get away from this Yellow Submarine. But mid lane, they'll go for if a fall as well, and Yuma gets the kill there, so support's traded.
What do you think about Yuma's build, by the way? Mjolnir BKB into Ags. Like, this isn't what people used to get in the last patch. Like, this is, if anything, like 2-3 patches ago, how the DK build would look like.
Yeah, it's not what you normally see from them, right?
He's farming really damn fast, though.
Yeah, I like the BKB, though. Go on, sorry.
Nah, considering how the game started, where Terrorblade and Tinker were on top, I'm actually shocked that Terrorblade wasn't able to keep up. Like, I guess the stacks definitely did help. They focused on stacking a lot for the Dragonite.
Ooh, big point of contention there, taking both Shrines of Wisdom. Getting some extra experience, and it feels good to get that experience. Oh.
Was that the pufferfish?
Yeah, that's I mean, that's the shrine. Maybe a little bit more reverbed, but that is what the shrine sounds like. Amaterasu, ever since getting the Zags, like I haven't seen him really do anything.
They just dodged him. I feel like
they're giving up tier 2 towers, but
yeah.
they're okay with this, especially like what you mentioned. with the farm that Yuma's getting, I think they're confident in what they'll be able to accomplish once they get this Ags on both him and the Pango.
We'll see. Really, it comes down to the execution. In the last game, the team with the stronger one was definitely heroic, and they might prove that once again on this high ground push.
Oh, Nesphere might have stayed too long. Ooh, the spear actually didn't bring him all the way to the tower, and that might be the difference maker. Shallow grave into a Sunder. What? Yuma dies so quickly. Shallow grave with the Sunder there immediately blows up this DK, but now they are turning this around. Nothing projection. It has made this Dazzle very vulnerable in that position. And they get the kill on Amaterasu. They'll look over at Nesphere. Automatos comes out from Rabel. Nesphere doesn't have Sunder again, but he does have that Aegis and these repair bots to keep him healthy.
Yeah, that's condemned for you right there. DK got condemned. The facet of Terrorblade, there is no minimum health threshold for sundered enemies. Basically sundered him on 1 HP. That looked like one of those old school pub strats where you buy a Dagon on Terrorblade and get hit and Shadowblade, you know? Like, you lose all your HP, you run in.
It was Armlet Shadowblade or something like that. You get yourself to 1 HP and then just Sunder and pop them.
That's the newer age one. The OGs, they know Shadowblade Dagon, Sunder Dagon, insta kill before facets. But yeah, he had the BKB, he just didn't use it. Like, you were just praising him for the BKB, but yeah, not sure what they expected in that situation.
Damn.
Still though, a good hold from Heroic, right? Like, overall.
Without Yuma.
Yeah.
Like, that was actually what I was going to say next. I was like, even without Yuma, they somehow kept that together. And he ends up buying this Dragon Knight, so he'll forego getting this Axe for the moment. Gleipnir, Snowball, and that's going over to Whisper. But Amaterasu as well as Amaryllis are both dead.
They need BKBs. This calling is just way too strong. Like, they need BKBs. Even with the good Snowball save, it still literally does not matter.
So Yuma getting that tower, and I would assume now is working on that Ags. Got Kaya Sanj for Rabel. He's going into the Dagon. But he needs to be careful. He's got BKB, but you can see the net worth now even. Yuma still sits top of the net worth. You've got Pango moving up the charts as well as he's finished off that Ags.
Yeah, they're just finding all these little things that will help them in the next fights. I'd like to see a Basher on Pango as well. Maybe he's got a blink now. But because everyone probably will be getting a BKB out of the cores of Yellow Submarine, I mean. So maybe a Basher would be a nice thing to get for Analog.
Tormentor is up if they want to try for that eventually, but there is a smoke here and 5 heroes. Oh, 4 heroes. Tinker didn't commit to the TP just yet. Now he'll go. Should Crash was used by Analog. That's going to be on cooldown for 6 seconds. But he blinks down, and they are going towards the Tormentor.
They'll have the high ground
right on their tail.
I think they can do this fast enough and maybe even fight afterwards.
Hey, they'll have the heal. So it's not exactly something you want to fight into. Ooh, they're all gone. Except for KJ, who's stuck around.
He's going to go for the Wisdom Shrine. I don't blame Amoralis for not blinking on the high ground as a Tusk. Because you don't really know if they're just sitting and waiting.
Oh. Oh, didn't even get the courier. Oh, well, now it's dead.
Both shrines, by the way, once again, gone.
So the 21 and the 28, both going to Heroic. And when you look at the experience difference, it's 8 levels in favor of Heroic.
Yeah. And keep in mind that this Weaver has Hive Minds, so he's getting a lot of XP from that.
But still behind 2 levels.
Pango.
Yeah, Pango in some trouble. And on goes into the Rolling Thunder, and he has been trapped for at least a moment. With those ice shards, they got the kill on the Schofield. They take out this Muerta, but the double spear, and now this is troublesome. They'll get the Shallow Grave out on an Espear, but now Supernova, the egg, gonna make sure that Nesfear, he ends up dead. They'll get Amoralis, and that's 3 heroes gone on the side of Yellow Submarine.
Very nicely done by the 2 of them, like Phoenix and Dragonite. Dragonite popping the BKB to prevent the Sunder, and KJ baiting the Sunder and using Egg just in time so it doesn't go through. They basically baited Terrorblade thinking he's safe, killing him off in the end. Once again, really, Yellow Submarine are just not matching the execution of these team fights. Even this go right here, you're going on a Pango with a shard. He's going to survive. Ratos is not good enough of a control.
It's not good enough control, and then we'll see what you were talking about right here as he steps forward and doesn't get it.
Yeah, Egg is like one of the fastest spells. I feel like when you press it, it's insta. So you can dodge Laguna Blade, you can dodge Thunder, you can dodge a lot of things with it. Like Lion Finger and Laguna Blade, they even go through. So it goes on cooldown and you dodge it, which is pretty cool. And a long day again.
Yeah, looking for Amaterasu, BKB. Oh, Rolling Thunder actually landing on both the Tinker as well as the Weavers. Got all 5 heroes. You need to be careful. There's the Walrus Punch out of the BKB Whisper, but he goes into the arena. They land the Spear on the Terrorblade, but he pulls him in. He's pulled in both the Dazzle and the Terrorblade. So now, the look over. It was the Nothel projection that he pulled in, but the Shallow Grave, I don't know if it's going to be long enough. The Spear actually pushes him back, so he's able to survive for a little bit longer, and now he's looking for a Sunder target, but he's dead! Oh, Schofield getting 2. Yuma gets the other 2, and that is 4 heroes gone for nothing from Heroic, and they are going to look to get the full team wipe with the BKBB pop here by Rabel. He'll at least get KJ. The right clicks come through, won't be enough, but still a 4 for 1.
Yeah, 4 for 1. Nice attempt from the Phoenix to try and go in, nullify the Tinker, but he's got the BKB, so very difficult kill. Can he defend on his own? It looks like he won't even try. He's moving top instead. He doesn't have a BKB on Tinker, so trying to def probably kills him.
At least breaking the high ground.
But once again, they're just not finding the right positioning with the Terrorblade, I feel like. Now he's queuing up the BKB, but I don't know, like you're playing with Shallow Grave, with Defense Matrix, with Tusk. There's just so many saves on their side, and they're still not making this Terrorblade comfortable in fights.
Yeah, he's not able to stand his ground and just kind of swing away.
That's the arena as well, right? Like a big issue for him.
Also, by the end of that fight, the calling was like spinning super quick and super big. Bunch of heroes dying within the calling. Still have this Aegis for another 2.5 minutes. Like, that fight was huge. They get the tier 3. But with everything up soon, you could go again.
Yeah.
They might just wait on the Zags. Or not. Arena down, Spear, BKB TP. Mars has this gem. He's got this Octarine core, so the cooldowns aren't as long for him. He's also got himself one of the greater neutrals. And Morales blinking away, TP out.
Ooh, that shot was close.
Almost.
That was a story to chill the bones, but got away.
And now this March of the Machine is not really problematic for Yuma as he continues to just farm top. Dagon level 3-4 Tinker looking to get all the way up to 5. Also, Ag's flying out for Yuma.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that. He's got tags, MKB, Satanic next. Almost. He almost gets it. Ags is delivered. By the way, I think this is my favorite new neutral item. When I'm a punching hero, like the Gunpowder Gauntlet. A lot of damage from it. It's very nice.
Seems pretty good. I was going to mention Gale Guard, even with the nerf, feels really good.
If I'm a support, Gale Guard and Essence Ring, those are my favorite items right now. Even as some cores, I think they're really good.
So right up towards the rack, skipping the tier 2 tower, actually top. Not the projection, but again, it's just leaving him vulnerable. Right click's coming in, dead shot. And now they've got the arena. He will shall grave himself, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. They get the kill to Amaryllis, and he turns around a Shadow Wave. Buyback committed from the Tusk. Silence onto this TV. They get the Rod of Atos. That's going to stop Yuma from moving forward for a moment. The Rolling Thunder comes in from Analog. Taking some damage here from the March of the Machines, but they go to the arena. They'll pop the BKBs on the side of Yellow Submarine. Analog will try to swashbuckle out of here. Rolls up as well. Another bunch of Shadow Waves keeping the side of Yellow Submarine healthy. But do they want to chase? They don't have BKBs available to them. That being said, a lot of what Heroic had is down at the moment.
Yeah, Dragon Form out. Phoenix does still have his egg, but yeah, they're not gonna chase. It feels like Heroic just went in, took what they came for, and got out without actually losing anything. Even forcing the buyback on Amaryllis.
Finally a shrine in the last 21 minutes for this Yellow Submarine side. They had not gotten a shrine in so long. And even with the Hive Mind Weaver sitting at level 17 now, so not as far back anymore, but still.
They might get caught up. Look at the smoke through the Twin Gate. They also have a very deep protective ward. You see this one from KJ? So they should know something at least.
Amaterasu is...
Oh, Nesphere.
Nesphere, but Amaterasu might be in a position that he does break the smoke, the dead shot. Ooh, Dragon Tail, that's on time. They'll get the kill onto the Dazzle. And now they're going to look, can they get Nesphere? He walks past the creep wave and he goes south. Dead shot again off the mark.
That's the shard that I talked about, right? Like it makes him very mobile. In this kind of situation, if he doesn't have it, oh, he's actually caught anyway. BKB.
Radiant are scanning.
Now his BKB's down. And maybe you push, but you could also just wait for Roche, get another Aegis, get your next set of items. Why not, right?
Absolutely. It depends all on how disciplined they want to be. They can wait for this rush. They can do anything they want to, really. These fights are looking very simple for them, and not a single item that they've purchased on Yellow Submarine makes a difference to me at the moment. They have this level 5 Dagon on Tinker to buff up the damage output, but Terrorblade is still sitting with the same 3 core of items. BKB, Skadi, Manta. And the BKB was purchased. It was used 3 times already. 2 times, I should say. And it did pretty much nothing.
Yeah, it felt like a very necessary item, but he also, like you were talking about, has Defense Matrix, has Shallow Grave, and it still doesn't feel like enough. And this BKB now already down 2 uses will do even less. There's
another Aghanim, by the way, Muerta.
Really? Went in for the Deadshot upgrade. Pierces through enemy heroes as it fears them. Interesting. Okay.
It's just some more control from them, right? Basically.
Awful projection. Sunray, ooh, gosh. Tusk dies with no answer. Shout Grave used very early on. That's going to be onto the Weaver. He's still controlled up, and the damage being dealt, but he's not dead just yet. They get the Muerta. Finally, if Fell falls, they do get Schofield, so they won't have the Muerta to work with, but they can stand their ground for the moment. Still have Supernova, still have an Arena ready to go with that Refresher being popped by Whisper.
Exactly, with the Whisper Refresher. He moved a little bit too close with Muerta, but maybe that was a part of the plan to bait them into a fight, because he's a really big kill. Like, if you can get Muerta, you're just dealing with a lot of problems. The calling is very painful, even with all the BKBs. So getting rid of her early on, at least they hold the melee racks, right? Like, they didn't win this fight, far from it, but they buy some more time for Nesphere to buy what? He's going for Silver Edge. Might allow him maybe to go behind and start the fight from a different angle. Maybe that's a good thing. I'm not sure. I'm finding it very difficult to see how they can win these team fights.
Yeah, it's very tough. I mean, maybe they're waiting on level 25 from the Tinker. He's at level 24 just about. They will come to take the Storm. And Amaterasu now has his shard. Means Nafo projection can be cast while Dazzle is disabled. Increases healing done while in the Nafo realm. It's 20% amp on the heals. So again, another addition into trying to keep this Terrorblade alive, right? Because you've got repair bots, you've got defense matrix, you have Snowball to save him, you've got Grave, you've got Shadow Wave. The only thing that I would say is maybe missing is potentially even going Ags on Weaver instead of this BKB and just being able to time-lapse him.
Honestly, what I think they're missing is damage on this Terrorblade. Yeah. I feel like you have all these saves, but you're just not outputting the necessary deeps. Aegis will be claimed, not contested even. It's like if this TB had like some sort of gets ravaged a bit, yep. If he had like a Daedalus or something like that, you know, like I could see a point in everyone protecting him, but his item build is already defensive enough. I'm not sure.
Yuma picking up
like
the Aegis and the Refresher shard, by the way.
Yeah. So Refresher on him, yep.
Yeah, full Refresher, actual real Refresher on Mars.
Yep. I think Phoenix is... Yeah, he's got Hex, but he's queuing up a Refresher as well.
Why not, right? Super farmed on these supports for Heroic there, too. You know, not afraid of getting the extra farm around the map for the supports. Knowing how to split the map effectively as well.
They're just getting the whole map. That's the thing. It's not like they're scared. Like, this is the first smoke that I'm seeing from Yellow Submarine in quite some time.
Rolling Thunder from Analog. He's going to blink in. BKB's popped immediately from the side of Yellow Submarine, and that could be an issue. BKB popped by Whisper, but you got to remember he does have that Refresher to work with. Blink into the arena. They don't have these BKBs anymore. He goes to the Refresher to get the BKB off this time for Whisper. And another arena stacking the circles and looking to get the control to kill off these heroes. But the heal right now is enough to keep them alive on the side of Yellow Submarine. They go to the Gladiator. They try to get the damage onto the Terrorblade. One more shot. They'll get it. Schofield with the dead shot kills off Nesphere. They'll take the Aegis out of the hands of Yuma, but they don't have buyback available on Terrorblade. So Yuma back into the Elder Dragon form, trying to at least secure Mega Creeps. Analog doesn't have a lot of life. Whisper at about half health, but they'll still get Amarallis and look to get this Mega Creeps as they'll go into the Nafo projection, but it doesn't really matter. Mega Creeps not secured with the half set of racks still available top, but they're working on it.
Now you could see that their defense, even against the two arenas and stuff, was kind of okay. They lost, but they healed. It's insane.
Now they'll go for the full Megas. BKB. These BKBs, like, they've just been forced out in such inopportune moments, and it has not felt good in any way here for the side of Yellow Submarine. And Amaterasu dying, no buyback, means mega creeps are there for sure.
That's probably game unless Tinker can do something incredible.
Magical, yeah.
Yep.
We'll try to hold with 3 heroes. They have Terrorblade back up in a moment, but he won't have Metamorphosis for 10 seconds or so when he's back up. They're not committing fully into the base just yet, but they're not doing the damage, honestly, on these heroes. I mean, Whisper is just kind of standing his ground. He's got a Refresher available in just a moment. Deadshot flies through, hits on this Tusk. Now a Gleipnir, Dagon, Pierce the Veil, Laser. Puts the calling down, so you can't really do much of anything. Man, I did not realize Amarallis, he is only level 14.
It's a losing game, right? Like, as a support, you're not getting the Wisdom Shrines as well. He is very low level, but the only reason why, if I fall, is because of the Hive Mind facets.
Moonshard just right-clicking away at these buildings, and Nisphere's going to step up into Vision. They've got the gem, they have the Refresher. Nisphere and Morales both die, and that should be it with no Terrorblade. Nathal projection or not, it is not going to matter. Rabel ends up dead, 4 heroes gone. They find the Weaver, full team wipe here for the side of Heroic. GG is called, and it's a 2-0 for Heroic to go to 1-1, and unfortunately